Morning. Good afternoon, wherever you are as well. Fun weekend. It's going to be a fun weekend. We're getting into fall. It's getting crispy, isn't it? I saw some leaves fall today, and I'm looking on the horizon in the mountains, and you can see all different shading starting to happen. It's not there yet. We don't have full color of autumn, but yeah, it's getting there. We're getting closer to Halloween. It's going to be exciting. How is everybody doing today? Hey, Pat. Pat, I just saw last night. We had a little rendezvous, and we saw the Toxic Avenger. I had to buy the popcorn bucket because it was relatively cheap. It was only $20 and came with a full large bag of popcorn. And all it is just a tin can. Nothing inside it. Very vanilla. See? Nothing. No, not as good as the 3D one of Jaws. I think I showed you guys that. I also saw Jaws in 3D, which was amazing. Amazing. Not amazing. Amazing. But Toxic Avenger, really quick. Pat and I did have a few moments of chuckle there. It wasn't as good as the original, but nothing really is. But it's decent. It's nothing to write home about, but we had fun. You know, it's two guys, from Jersey can show a little bit of respect to the Toxic Avenger because it's the first superhero from New Jersey. So we had to go see it. The crowd was a fun one. We had a guy in front of us. I don't know, Pat, if you saw it, but he had a huge head of hair on him. And anytime he scratched his head, it's like the whole bit of hair moved with him. It was huge, like dome-like. Like you ever see So I Married an Axe Murderer? Heed, move. That's what he looked like. Big head of hair. But yeah, it was okay. It was all right. We had a good time. And Pat and I could probably just have sat there and talked all day after the movie was over with. Because once we started talking about Halloween and all this merchandise that we had to get this year, we just go on and on and on and on. But that's what we do as Halloween fans. And that's why we're doing this show, because we're going to be ranking, or I'm going to be ranking, my worst to best victims, female victims of the Halloween series. Again, Michael had to be the killer. So you wouldn't get, let's say for the males, you wouldn't get Ben Tramer, wouldn't be a victim of Michael. It had to be physically killed by Michael. But before I do that, I want to say hello to everybody. Logan, how's it going? Michael, Chester, Marisol. Tony, what's going on, buddy? Dream Villain, how you doing? Pat, again. Hey, what's going on, buddy? Okay, keep going down. Brett, what's going on, Brett? Brett says here, really quick, he's looking out for my well-being. He says, happy football season. Exactly, Brett. Hey, Nick, what's going on? Good. Don't let that popcorn sit in there. Oh, God, no. I gave Pat, the free bag of popcorn that I got with it, just because I was all loaded up with popcorn from Jaws 3D. Yep. Pat said it right here. It's a fun popcorn movie. That's it. Okay. 17 of us here. It'll probably be a little bit more as we get in. It's a Sunday. A Saturday. Sunday. So let's begin. Let's get this over with right now. So here we go. The worst to the best female victims of the Halloween franchise. Now, I bet you a lot of people think they know what my number one's going to be. Well, you can forget it because she's not my number one. But can you guys guess really quick? I'll give you guys a few minutes to sort this out. Who do you think my first worst victim is? The one victim I can't stand in the whole Halloween franchise. Oh, and I have to point out also that it's very touchy with part 6, with what victims, who the victims are, what the victims weren't, who was on screen, who wasn't on screen. So they had to be physically killed in the theatrical cuts of the movie, not the unrated or the director's cuts. But who do you think is my worst female victim covering the whole franchise? Well, Chester, John Strode is not a woman, though he acts like one. Hey, my Chucky Jordy, what's going on? So Michael says Tina. Tina's low. She's low, but she's not at the bottom. Flavor says Karen all day. No, not Karen. It might surprise you. Hey, Jordan, what's going on? that smart ass short hair blonde from Rob Zombie's H2. No, she's not in. She's not there. But if you guys want to, let's see. Rick M says that whiny, screechy, beheaded blonde bitch from Resurrection. She's on the bottom, close, but not there. Okay, here we go. You ready? First worst female victim. Now see if you guys agree with me with this. Judith Myers from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2007. She is my worst victim. Compared to the original Judith, this one is complete opposite. She is nasty. She is foul to Michael. And if I ever had a sister like her, I'd do the same thing. She is insufferable in this franchise. She is the worst. The stripper from H2. She is terrible. I can't stand Judith Myers. As a victim, she's terrible. Myers. Am I okay? It just said I had to leave. Hold on. Am I okay? Can you guys hear me? I just want to make sure. My road said I had to stop. Let me know if you can hear me. Wait. Just want to make sure you guys can hear me. Okay, hold on. All right, hold on. Give me a second. Fine now. Okay. I'm good? Okay, all good. Thank you. All right, so Judith Myers, terrible. Terrible. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, here we go. Next victim, next worst victim. Susan from Ends. You're going to get a lot of Ends in here. The reason why I picked, hey, Eli, hey, Janine, hey, Andrew, what's going on? Susan, there's a problem I have with what Corey Cunningham was up against. It's not like they were the worst victims. I mean, the worst antagonists in the picture is juddering for me. Try to reset it. I mean, I'm looking over here on YouTube and okay. So if we're all good, guys, I'll continue. If not, I'll just reset and come back. I don't want to end the stream and do another one. Let me take a look here. Try to refresh it. Uh-oh. Okay. You okay now? Try to move around. Don't move. All good. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure. I want to make sure. Okay. So getting back to Susan. There's a I don't like these victims for Corey. I think the his victim should have been the cops, not some band members. That was terrible. That was terrible. So that's why I'm moving on to number 50, which is Margot. And that the reason why Margot is up here and above Susan is because at least she was kind of apologetic to the whole thing and didn't want to do this whole band member beating up on Corey Cunningham uh, stint. But yeah, that's she's down there. She's terrible. Okay, let's move on. I have Laurie Strode from Resurrection on the bottom. I think this was a terrible way for Laurie to die. I think this is a terrible Laurie in general because we have, if you think about it, 7 different Lauries original, 2 H2O, Resurrection, H18, Kills, and Ends. So yeah, they're bad. And what does the Tony says here? Band members are bullies was a terrible idea. It was, yeah. I always doubted that fall. Would he have killed her? It doesn't look high enough. I thought so too. I thought so too. It's so how did she think Michael was gonna die when she set up that trap up on the roof? Was he gonna break his neck on the way down? I mean, she's just a she did all that work in H2O, stood up to him, all that stuff, and all it is a rope, and she had to double check to make sure that Michael was Michael underneath that mask. Now, the problem also is that Michael would you care if somebody was would you care if somebody was him or not, was Michael or not, if they were coming at you? He went through a door with his head. You hit him over the head with a fire extinguisher, and he got right up, and he sat right up just like Michael. So she said, "I just have to be sure." So you do deserve to die, and it was the worst way for Laurie to go out. Chester says the way Laurie dies in Resurrection was terrible. I do agree with you, Frank. They could have saved her in the rest of the movie. They could have. And Tony goes, JLC did not want to be in Resurrection. No, but she was obligated. Like, get me out of here. Whatever you want me to do. And I think when I saw it in the movie, when I saw Resurrection in the movie theaters, I think half the crowd was like, oh. And then the rest of the crowd was like, finally, a deal with her. Oh, mm, Rick M. Exactly. Even if that wasn't the shape coming after her, whoever is wearing that mask was still trying to kill her. Who cares? Set the trap. Set that trap. I don't care. If it was, what's his name? Harold? If it was Harold, still cut it. Harold, sorry. There you go. Bye. All right, let's continue. Tina, there is finally Tina. She's in the bottom 10. Tina is the one of the worst victims. Actually, if you think about it, in part five, she is my least favorite character. Most people in here will say Tina is probably one of the worst characters. So I think even in general, people hate her. She is annoying. She is whiny. And the only reason why she's not on the bottom is because she sacrifices herself for Jamie. That's the only reason why. Other than that, Tina is too whiny, too sarcastic, and I just can't stand her. I think when we did our best and worst of with Dave for Halloween 5, I think the consensus was Tina. Tina is the worst. You know, "It's not acceptable if I can help it," you know? "Be sensible. I'm never sensible, I can help it." Ba-bra, 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 ba-bra. Oh, what are you guys saying about about Tina? Chester says, "I can't stand Tina." Tony goes, "I hated Tina. She did redeem herself in the end, saving the Kims." That's why I said she's not on the way bottom. She's close to it, but Michael goes, "She was cute to me." Okay, Michael, looks aren't everything. I got my beautiful wife to marry me, and I'm no prized pig in the county fair, but I was just, uh, we're talking about the character. It's just so annoying. And this is, Greg Nicotero's, kind of love interest. You guys all remember the story I told about that, meeting him at Monster Mania. I had him sign I'm not gonna get it, but I had him sign the booklet that came with, Brett and Pat will know this, the booklet that came with the Halloween 5 tin, and it went behind the scenes and everything, and I told Greg, "Can you sign this for me?" And he was like, "Oh, wow. I never seen this before. Do you mind if I look at it?" I said, "Yeah, go through." And he sat there for maybe about 3 minutes going through it, and he saw a picture of Wendy, and he said, "Yeah, I had a fling with her on set." And I go, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah. She should have stayed with me, bitch." Signs his name. And Greg Nicotero's signature is one of those fake seagulls that you find in kids' paintings. It's just like an M. That's it. That's what are you guys saying about that? Brett says, "I will say Wendy is a sweetheart to me at a con. I bet you she is. But as Tina, Brett, oh, cook the cookie lady. I should put the cookie woman up on here, right? Michael, damn it. Duct tape her. Just duct tape the mouth and be done, right? Pat, my buddy, says, Tina was easy on the eyes, but annoying as hell. Greg's little Greg's little love on set. It is. It's they said that if you watch the documentary for 5, the guy who's plays Spitz says there was a lot of shenanigans going around because they were so bored most of the time. And Dominique and the rest of the production had no idea what to do, where to move stuff, get get Jamie, get Danielle Harris, set up already, get Donald Pleasance all set, get Don Shanks all set up. That they were just like sitting around all day and they formed these kind of cliques. And then I found out through Greg Nicotero that Donald Pleasance loved a good Benihana's. He loved that whole hibachi stuff. He was a big fan. Uh, but yeah, it was just like they kind of formed this little flirtatious love thing on set. That's why if you see when she goes into the convenience store, Bill's gas station, 5th and Main, Greg is the first one that comes out and looks at her. That's real. That's a real like, "Hey, after the set, after we do this, let's go see how you compare to the cookies on the brick." All right, moving on. Number 47 is Stacy from Ends. Doesn't really do anything. I hold her in higher regards than Tina. But again, you're gonna find until we get to the top 20 is gonna be a little harder for me. So, just because I put one above the other, it's just because I find them a little less more annoying than the one below them. So, yeah, she "Hey, Daz, what's going on? I can't believe this Tina disrespect." You know what, Daz? We don't disrespect Wendy Kaplan at all, but, you can't tell me, Daz, that and Marisol, please let me know this too. If this woman was in your clique, in your group, would you just be like, "I gotta go home. I gotta go home. I can't stand her." That's the thing. I just find her annoying. She's very pretty. Wendy Kaplan is very pretty, and she's very easy on the eyes, which everybody's saying in there. But, oh my god, it's annoying, guys. It really is. I'm sorry. Marisol says she was totally stabbed in the shoulder. She couldn't have died. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, unless it was so deep enough, Marisol, maybe? I don't know. It's right like, right here, right? Between the shoulder and the collarbone, like, right underneath there? I don't know. At least something good happens in part 5. Ah, Tony, come on. Hey, Gory, what's going on? Everyone in N should be at the bottom. Aha. Aha. Let's just see. But then Brett says, "You know what? I like Tina more than most." Yeah, sure. Okay, here we go. Stacy's okay for most? Yeah, but as Tony says here, everyone in N should be at the bottom. Let's see what the next victim is. Nurse Deb at ends. She was gonna be my next cutout. So I was either gonna choose Debbie, Nurse Debbie, or Ethel from part 5. I find I like her appearance, nurse-wise, character-wise, but her just being so talkative and annoying, going a mile a minute, and like, I bet you with that doctor, is it Doctor Neil? Forgot that doctor's name. If anyone knows that doctor's name, please let me know. Uh, I th I think she would have called him doctor all day. I don't think it was Doctor Mixer. It was something the doctor's name sounds so familiar to me. I don't know what it is. Like a Marisol. Thank you. Getting back to Tina. Yes, Frank, she would be a friend in the group that we couldn't stand to be around. However, she might be the most loyal friend in the end. Okay. I she's the one who stands up for everybody. That's why she's not at the bottom or close to well, actually, she technically is, but she's not on the bottom. Andrew Stevens. Debbie's a babe. I was surprised that the Kelly cutout has, come back for this special. Yeah, hasn't come back, she would have been right here, but yeah, I I don't know when I'm gonna bring them out again. Mathis. Thank you. Thank you, Doctor Mathis. Why would I was getting Doctor Mix I know Doctor Mixer's in part 2, but why was I getting Doctor Mathis? Doctor Mathis. Doctor Mathis. What a name. 24 of you in here on a Saturday morning. Thank you very much. Or afternoon if you're across the pond. Thank you. All right, next victim, Miss Cunningham. Tony, as you said, most of the ones from Ends are gonna be in here. Miss Cunningham. She is I wish we could have seen this scene. Another problem that Darren and I think Dave and the rest of the community do have as well as most people in the chat here, we're not seeing some of the cut scenes. I don't think now correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't opened my Ends package, my Ends forecast. Is there a cut scene of Mrs. Cunningham, Corey's mom, getting butchered? Is there? I don't think there is. The one complaint us fans have about this franchise is that we are not getting all the footage. We haven't got the true ending to H18. We are not getting we probably got the most of Halloween Kills, but definitely not a lot from Halloween Ends. So, if there is the I don't know when they're gonna bring it out because when Halloween H50 comes around, H18 is gonna be 10 years. But Andrew says, "What a bitch." You remember when, Daz says, "Boys who keep secrets don't get custard for dessert." You could read that in for a little never mind. Did you see Nurse Debbie show off her gymnastic talent at age 45? No, Brett. What'd she do, like a split or a flip? Is there an alternative is there alternate kill setting? I don't think so, Tony. I don't think so. Thanks, Michael, I appreciate that. You could see her death on YouTube. Okay. Alright, that's good. So it must be on the package. Guys, I bought Halloween Ends, the tin, just to have it and not open it, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. Definitely not a backstory of the Iron Lady, so disappointing. Don't go there, Frank, I won't. I won't. I'll stop. I won't do it. Alright, Mrs. Cunningham, remember when she slaps Corey and she tries to go give him a kiss? And then Ron's sitting there, Ronald, he's like, "I hope you find love." Ugh. Misty! Next victim, victim 44. Misty from '09, who I think, what's his name says, "Enjoy the herps." So, yeah, it's she doesn't do anything for me, not at all. Pat says, "You could see why the husband stays at the wreckage yard watching Van Damme movies." There's one thing I never realized about Van Damme movies. Do you guys remember really quick? I'm gonna go on a little sidetrack here. Do you remember in Time Cop? Of course you guys do. Do you remember in Time Cop where where the guy's in broke into his apartment and the guy has the double knives and he's fighting him. And Van Damme has the one knife, and all he does is this. That's all he does. Other than that, somebody is just taking the knife, right, and just going like this, and then on the bottom. Side quest. Uh, hey, Ken. Ken says, "Hey, Frank, just made it. Did you talk about how awesome Toxic Avenger is? Yeah, I saw it last night myself. We did. We did in the beginning. Ken. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, we said people should go see it. It's not going to be an Oscar winner by any means, but it was fun." Michael says, "I barely remember ends." Oh, Ken, really quick. There. Side quest. I love Nowhere to Run. Good flick. And who's Misty? I don't remember. Misty, my chunky Jordy, is from the Rob Zombie '09, where Michael goes to the Red Rabbit Lounge and beats up on the owner, Misty, and the guy who plays Herman Munster in the Munsters. Yeah, you're right, Daz. Misty is a stripper. I don't like Jean Claude Van Damme. I had the knife skills of Steven Seagal. Yeah. All right, moving on from Misty. All right, kill me, Laurie Strode. Laurie Strode did die. in one of them. Didn't I just call myself out in the beginning? I said if this is the theatrical cut or the ends cut or the, unrated cut, I wasn't gonna include it. Forget it then. Laurie from, Halloween, 2009 is terrible. I think this Laurie is probably the worst Laurie. I Scout Taylor Compton, love you to death. Love you in the beginning of '07, but this one, you were just bonkers all to hell. Again, it's probably because of the Rob Zombie movie. Look at Daz. Again. I'm sorry. I am absolutely sorry, but I don't like her. I don't like Ooh, hypocrite. Yeah, I forget who I put in some of this stuff all the time. Maybe my male victims, Ben Tramer will be in there because he kinda, looked like Michael and he deserved to die walking around drunk. But yeah, I don't find Lori from 2009 as she's a victim, right, in one of the cuts. I just don't you know what, Brett? Yeah, it's her death is pretty bad too. Oh, really, Tony? Tony's agreeing with me. Tony, give me a high five right to the camera. There we go. Tony says, "Laurie and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is so bad, really nasty." And one of my whole things of if you guys watched the best and worst of, we did the Rob Zombie ones. We weren't going to, but we had to include them. In part 2, I said the worst line ever is, "Hello world, I'm Michael Myers' sister. I am so fucked." And that was my worst line. And we were just like, "How? How? It's just because you got this stain over your head?" Listen, Jeffrey Dahmer's parents, when they were alive, were still going around the news, cycles and still getting paid for interviews. Ted Kaczynski's brother, the one who ratted him out, the Unabomber, is still going around doing news and interviews. You don't think he's not getting paid for that? Go around, get paid. Everybody will stop talking about you. Everybody will stop thinking you're Michael Myers' sister because they'll be so annoyed that you're going around telling everybody about it, they'll just lose interest. So do that. Pat says, Laurie and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is so loud and whiny throughout the whole movie, gives me a headache. Yeah, it's just bad. Yep, Tony gives me another high five. Okay, I get it. I think mostly about 1, 2. I can't understand with 2. It's just yeah, she's terrible. She's really terrible. Ken says Cody Leach is one of the rare fans reviewers who actually likes Halloween 2. I can understand from his standpoint why he says it's a pretty good film, but as a Halloween film, eh. Pat and I just saw in the theater, the Shelby Oaks trailer by Chris Stuckman, and we had to jog our memory and realize who Chris Stuckman was. And I was just like, "Okay, I guess we'll go see it." I didn't go contribute to the, campaign or anything like that. Tony says, "Lori really embraced the nasty Angel Myers side. Ronnie would have loved her." Oh. Moving on, next victim. The nurse from '09. Uh, doesn't do anything for us. Now we're gonna get into that area where they're all gonna be different positions just because they're gonna be in there. Because I had to include all the victims. Uh, Michael, I know what you mean, but I think I'm going with more kills wise than liking them on screen. So could you imagine nobody that has any lines whatsoever that has her eyes gouged out and is propped up against the railing on the staircase is a lot better than Tina in my eyes. Uh, okay. Moving on. Number 41, Nora from Resurrection. Don't see her kill. She doesn't know how to make a good espresso. I mean, She's not really there and needed. I like Tyra Banks. I like her a lot, but I just she's whatever. She's whatever in this franchise. Gina, she actually has a name from 18. You know, Mr. Oh, what was she trying to resemble? Oh my god. Mrs. Elrod. Oh my god, I had a cutout of her and I just blanked on her name. Mrs. Elrod, you know? Uh, she's okay. Great ass though, coming from Fat Bookie. Tony says the hospital scene in the Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is the best, but should have made the whole film there. Yes, or at least, you know, make it where she's in the hospital the whole way. Michael's walking back, killing people. She's, on the mend a little bit, can walk a little bit better, and end it there somewhere. The ending. Yeah, I didn't like her either. Really, what is the point of getting Tyra Banks showing her death? I don't know. I don't know, Daz. That was a bummer. They used this promotion shot of Tyra, and we don't see it happening. It's not even on the DVD. It's not. We get enough Busta Rhymes, more than enough on the DVD or the Blu-ray. But other than that, yeah. Ken says, "Did you see the Witchboard remake, Frank? I just saw that as well. Bad CGI, but like the direction it went in. I didn't see it yet. It's on my list. I'll go see it eventually. I don't know when. But yeah, Gina, she's there. Moving right along. We're going quick, ladies and gentlemen. This is good because I know you guys got Saturday plans. Uh, Adriana, whatever. She's there too. I put her in that whole lot. The only reason why I put her above Mrs. Elrod, Doppler, is because of her death. She was good. She was alright. Maybe if it's not a dream, Michael gets away from the hospital. Yep, and just keeps following Lori. Tyra just found hanging in the wires. Yep. Dave's friend. Yep. She was at age 45, right, guys? Right, Pat and Brett? She was at age 45. She was there. She's good. Daz, I'm learning names today. You know what? If you go into a Halloween wiki, I have no idea, why people or any of the fandom sites, they have their names here, but I don't think in the actual credits they do have names. So I'm just going by that. So I just can't put victim 2 or victim 3 for you guys. I gotta give actual names. I shoulda give their acting, their actual real names, but it's better this way. But Tony says, "I don't like the CG kill." Really? Really? It is CG a little it is CGI, isn't it? I mean, it's okay-ish. It's okay. I mean, whatever. I'm not dead unless I'm a ghost. There we go. Sarah from H20. She is terrible too. First H20 victim up on here. So, notice how we haven't had anyone from 4 yet, anyone from 2, anyone from the original, anyone from H18. It seems like all the victims that I've been talking about have been the ones that have been less received by the general audience. Barry is actually gonna find this to be insulting, I know. However, I do say that the best version of Laurie besides the first one is the one from H2O. I have said that on his channel, in his chat. Yeah, Pat says, "I think she was there." Yep. Knife through the back of the neck was gnarly, though. It was. Yep, for her, it was. This yeah, I mean, Sarah, mm, her and her husband. I mean, not her husband, her and her boyfriend. Why was she with him anyway? Maybe I'm jealous. Maybe that's what it is, that a girl like her went with a guy like him, went with little mini with Robert Williams. Yeah, this kill could have been so good in H2 if we saw it. And Sarah had no business being with that Jumanji kid. It's true. Uh, I mean, it was nasty though, that leg getting her leg snapped. That was nasty. I think other than that, I mean, are there any other decent kills in that we see on screen? Well, Nurse Marion gets her throat slit. Um, Adam Arkin gets, stabbed in the back, nurse style. Other than that, I don't think there's really any on screen. That dude was a douche. He was too geeky. Marisol says, "This was actually a good kill with the light coming through her, the crooked leg." Yeah, yep, she's been gutted out, but we don't see it, but sometimes you don't need to see these things. What else we got? The lunatic. I forgot I put her on here. Halloween 6, the lunatic. Halloween 6, the lunatic is above Tina in Halloween 5. Ain't that amazing? Whatever. Whatever, though. Oh, it always looked like she got electrocuted. It did. But you remember, Michael, where she's she said something to the effect of, "He is angry. How does it feel to be damned, brother?" Because Michael stabbed her. I don't know why she was there in the first place. Mm, the lunatic it Daz, the lunatic. She's a victim. I had to include her because there are bastards out there that would say, "You forgot this one. You forgot this one. You forgot this one. You forgot this one. You forgot this one. Don't you remember?" That's right, Marisol. Good for you. How does it feel to be damned? How does it feel to be damned? Damned brother. And then, no Arkin's character. Oh, yeah, okay. Alright, Michael. That's right. That's right. I understand now. Thank you. Uh, and then, Paul Rudd character as, Tommy going, "Oh, god." Chester's laughing too, the lunatic. It's a victim. I just like that she went really nuts. She's crazy, and she was just like, "How's it feel to be damned?" I just like her like that. Thanks, Bookie. Victims, aren't we all? Alright, let's get off the lunatic. Harley. Harley from '09. Not really a good friend. He's very angry. Uh, not really a good friend, but I think she was more promiscuous than anything. She was in that van in '09 trying to, make out or have sex with that guy still wearing the wolf mask. Ugh, Michael, you don't even remember this one? Yeah, this is the, yeah, she was in the van with Michael. They were at the party, the 3 of them, Harley, Brandy, I think is her name, the blonde with the short hair, uh, and, Lori, and she's the one that says, "Maybe we shouldn't go to the party." At least she says that, and Lori says, "No, I wanna go have fun, I wanna go get drunk, I wanna, go get laid, I wanna forget all about this," and Harley's like, "Okay, that's all I needed." And, yeah, she got it. As Brett says, she's the one that gets it in the van. Oh, Harley was alright. That's why she's not on the bottom, Michael, though. She's okay, but she's not the, oh, okay. Alright, thanks. I got it. In the van down by the river. That's what she was dressed as. Yeah, that's right. She looks good as Tim Curry from Rocky Horror. She was because it was a Halloween contest, right? Or Halloween party. and she was dressed up as Tim Curry in Rocky Horror. All right, next one. Here we go. 30 of you guys, thank you for watching on a Saturday. Thank you very much. Linda from '07. She was in comparison to Linda PJ Souls from the original, even though she had a good death and a good scene before that, not complaining about that. I didn't feel anything for her. I didn't feel anything for her. She comes off really annoying. She comes off very, promiscuous, very slutty, and she when Annie's character, Danielle Harris's who's being played by Danielle Harris in '07 and '09, calls her out on it. She goes to Lori, and she knows Lori is not gonna say anything bad about her. Linda just says, "Thank you for, understanding. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for not believing what Annie said about me." Well, you just proved Annie right. You go into a you go into a dirty house, that's been had murders in it, and you're on the floor, having everything touch you. How much mouse and rat shit is all over that place? Blood getting blood in the crevices of the boards and everything, and all that's protecting you is, you first of all, Bob is not even wearing protection. You got a sleeping bag, which is porous, which everything seeps in. Oh, Tony, yeah, foul-mouthed Linda. Linda did not get Bob's ghost. No, nope. Hey, Bob, what's going on? Bob Pliskin, ladies and gentlemen. Has a well, that's why I said at the beginning, I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing with the scene. I'm arguing about the character. She does it's compared to the other Linda, it's nothing. You knew that when the remake was coming out, when they had Annie and they had Linda, I didn't think Rob was gonna take it as far as he did with the victims. And I love Tyler Mane as Michael. I love Tyler as a person, because we went to age 45, he was hanging around with us at the bar, and we were just chit-chatting. And for some reason, in every shot of the stills for this movie, his hair is always all over the place, like Gene Wilder in Young Frankenstein. Yeah, Brett goes, that's very trashy part about Rob Zombie's films is that the fornication and the, intercourse scenes and the love scenes and everything like that is in the foulest of places. Yeah, I've been around the block. I'm in my early 40s. I've done stuff as a kid, but where I was doing stuff like that, I didn't go to abandoned houses. I didn't go really into the backseat of cars. Maybe not. It was just that, there was tents involved when I was younger too. That stuff was kinda private, but that's okay. But not in someone's this is the girl who would go into, Eastern State Prison, the haunted one in Pennsylvania, and be like, "Yeah, let's go to all the cells. Let's go to the electrocution room. Isn't that romantic? We'll just see if we could turn on some of the lights." Tony says her dad became protective in Rob Zombie H2, but where was he in the first when she was being nasty? Exactly. Beautiful girl. Do you want me to sign this for you? What do you want to put? Nice smile. Love Dr. Loomis. Malcolm McDowell. Uh, the way Linda gets killed is different, not the same, but from the original, Rob Zombie wanted to do something different. Yep. Yep, Chester. That's true. Trailer trash characters. And Michael says, I grew up in a trailer park, but I never saw anyone like that. Hey, if there was a back seat of my car, that's fine. Well, hey, listen, I've seen actual like cars where people are living in them, and the back seat is just their trash being thrown. I'm like, There's 2 of you living in there. What do you do? I mean, outside's gotta be better, I guess, but still. Surprised Rob didn't keep Paul's line from the OG about Lindsay, how trashy he makes, with how trashy he makes everything. Yeah, Bob, right, Daz, Bob. Yep, I saw that. Alright, moving on from foul-mouthed Linda. That Linda's not a person you bring home to mother, let's just say, or bring home to your family. She would wear these tight little dresses, going up there, probably, like, trying to, sit on your grandfather's lap. Oh. Mm-mm-mm. Marisol. I know. I'm glad there's a woman in here, a few women in here that can agree to this because we're all thinking the same thing. Let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. Let's be honest with each other here. If men are thinking it, women are thinking it too. And we're at the point of our society and the point in time of our life and our generations where we can say whatever we want without being thought of as being disrespected. Marisol, thank you very much. Totally agree. I would never hook up at seedy places like that. Gross. A little romance, right? A little a little suave, a little suave, like, little panache. That's a nice hotel room, motel room, your own bed. I mean, but come on. Maybe that's what Darren and I will do. Best and worst places that he would never go for that. All right. Here we go. The victim 34, Beth from H6. Look how, Linda is worse than Beth. So they're in the Myers house. Those 2 are in the Myers house, right? I think it's because Beth actually cared about, what's her name in the beginning? Oh, what's her name in Halloween 6? Hold on. You guys are gonna show me by the time I type it up. Kara or Kara. 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 I know I went there, Tony. I'm sorry. I had to go. I had to get my point across. Uh, I don't get your ghost, Gramps. Beth is okay. She at least, the only reason why I put her at towards the bottom is because she let Barry Sims know that the family lives in thank you, Marisol, lives in the Myers house. Like, there's actually Strode still living in the Myers house, and Barry just got up on that. And she's one of these activists, she's one of these, let's save the trees, let's start, making sure, people aren't being hindered in any way in their particular lives. But yeah, um, she's okay. 33, Penny's cook. Now, I don't know why I put her so high. Maybe because H4 this is my first H4 victim, and I think out of the female victims, that are on this list, I made H4. I hold H4 in such high regards that anything there it was very hard for me to put low. So I took any of the female victims that were in Halloween 4, which are not many, and relatively put them high, but then if they didn't have any speaking lines, or if we didn't see their kill, I had to put them on the bottom, and that was the cook. That was Penny's cook. So, Barry Sims was a bad character as well. Just wait until you see the worst of the best male victims and where he stands. I already got a place for him. And plus, you know what, Michael, you are right. The header Kara takes was weird. Yep, that header just it looks like she almost, like, flipped over. Penny's cook, 33. Alright, who's number 2? I mean, number 32. Maya, that's the other victim. Really, Marisol? Fun fact, the actress was the wife of Bobby from the Brady Bunch. So, Penny's cook, the cook, or the waitress, whatever, what have you. She was Bobby's wife from the Brady Bunch when they had the reunion special. Interesting. Any speaking lines, or did she just lay there on the in the kitchen as well? Maya, victim 32, a little bit more of a friend than Harley. At least she stayed with Lori to the end. So that's why she's victim number 32. Gloria from 31. When Ishmael's going around in '07, Gloria, what are you, Gloria? You there, Gloria? That's not what he really says, but I just thought she could have survived. All right, listen, I was it was very hard for me to find some of the victims. I had to remember in Halloween Kills, what's her name, Sandra, was still alive because of she was there being wheeled around in ends. I forgot about that. So I was like, "Oh, I gotta put Sandra in there." And then my brain actually, sparked and said, "No, she's actually alive still," so I couldn't put her in. Yeah, but Gloria. Thanks, Marisol. All right, 30. Patty. Patty gets her throat ripped out by Michael in '07. I still, to this day, now, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think. Do you think that the victims from, uh how can I put that? Do you guys think the theatrical cut of Michael escaping is better than the unrated director's cut in '07? I think with Michael breaking those chains, from the side was was a whole lot better than what we got in that filthy, awful, uncut, unrated director's, version. I think it was just awful. Ugh. "It's a massacre, Sam. It's a massacre." From Clint Howard. Awful. Okay. Jenna. Okay, for those of you who said Jenna is the most annoying, whiny little character who can't scream, there she is, number 29, Jenna from Resurrection. Terrible. Mm-mm-mm. Uh, the better '07 breakout. Yeah, the director's is nasty. It's awful, Tony. It really is. I don't even know why that was made. It didn't need to be made. Ugh, excuse me there. Yep, Jenna from Resurrection. Moving on again. Nurse Evans, H4. Daz says, "You can only get the director's cut in the UK. The theatrical is better." I know, Daz. There was a Brett, if you're still here, and Pat as well. Do you guys remember that we had a there was a little article or an alert on our feeds that they're re-releasing Rob Zombie's Halloween, '07, but it's also coming with the theatrical cut and not the unrated director's cut, and we were all trying to get it. I had to go online from a different website, I think in a different country to go get mine. That was either region free or at least our region 1 or A, and for some reason, you can't get the disc. Can you still get the disc with the theatrical cut and the director's cut? Can you still? I don't know. Chester says, "Yep, better." I think better than Sarah. Dumb character. Jetta. Daz, it's on the German Blu-ray, both cuts. That's right. That's right. No. Never seen the theatrical cut of '07, only DVD and UK is the director's cut. Oh, Tony, the version I have of the film imported from Australia, yep. A real paramedic wouldn't have reacted like this. Like, yeah. They should have had needles ready, right? Oh, Rick. For, what's her name? For, Jenna? Yeah, the 29 is way too high for that screechy little cupcake. She's gone on to do what, another another thing, right? I forgot what she did. Hey, Texas, what's going on, buddy? Texas Nacho. Thanks, bud. I hope you love Darren's channel as well, and you love TSL. That's why we're here. Can't get if you can't get both of us at the same time, you're gonna have one or the other. At least once or you can have like me, Darren, and TSL like 3 times a week. I think that's all you could stand, really. Evans and the male doctor are responsible for the 4 massacre. You are right, Daz. Let's take a moment and realize what Daz just said. He is saying that Evans and the doctor, the male nurse or doctor or orderly, whatever, paramedic, whatever he is responsible for the 4 massacre. And Tony says, "I love the opening of Halloween 4 when the music cuts in." Yeah, brings back first movie I saw in the theater, first Halloween movie, I put it this high. Favorite and best, they're 2 different things, right? H1 is the best, but Halloween 4 is my favorite. So, if Daz, let me know if you agree with this statement. If them 2 did not talk about Jamie Lloyd being alive in Haddonfield. Well, he has a niece, but she's too young to be his legal ward. So the state owns him, great. And his hand starts, squeezing onto that blanket. He was conscious the whole time. He was dormant. I like how when people say, "Do you think if Michael never heard that, he would have, just stayed there?" Well, if he never heard it, we wouldn't have a movie. Fuck you. Of course, we wouldn't have had a movie. We wouldn't need one. But he's could have made a different movie. So it's just if he didn't hear that, if he didn't hear from these 2 that you could have, if they just sat there, if he was just there. He was there the whole time. He was getting sponge bathed up, by Dr. Hoffman, who probably, went down there, got the sponge bath ready, undid his tie a little bit, just started rubbing him down. Federal prison, you're federal law. Wrapped him up all the time with that nurse there. It's he was just like, "I'm gonna sit here and enjoy myself. I don't feel my wounds anymore. I'm just gonna stay here, take a nice little nap, wake me up if anything happens." And even when he's being wheeled up, he's just like, "Whatever. I'm just really chilling." Oh, yeah, the Doctor, Hoffman said anything about any relatives? Yeah, a niece in his hometown. He's like, "Oh, man, why'd you have to say that?" That was it. They were they shouldn't have discussed anything. I think that's against HIPAA. Janice Grey is Starbuck in Battle Galactica. Yeah, I've heard that. She was also in the last, Riddick movie. Marisol says, "Completely agree. Michael was minding his business in a coma, and then they had to mess with him. Let sleeping dogs lie." Yep, he was just chilling. He had no reason to go back to Haddonfield. No reason. And as we found out why he had to kill his family is because of, the Cult of Thorn. One family had to be sacrificed for the good of the group. And then he's like, "Oh my god, I thought my work was done. Damn my sister for getting pregnant. Oh, if I didn't know about it, now that I've heard it." It's like when you're at work, "I don't wanna hear it. Don't tell me." "No, no, 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 don't tell me anything. If I'm gonna have to report you or if I'm gonna get in trouble or I'm gonna be, a co-conspirator by hearing it, no, 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 I don't wanna hear it. Don't tell me." Tony says, "Director's cut of '07 doesn't suit what Loomis said. He waited for this day. It was an opportunity to break out. The guards being killed had more planning to it." You're right. You're absolutely right. He just didn't get saying, "No, the door's open. I don't know. I guess I could walk out." Yeah, he waited for the time they were gonna move. It makes more sense, right, Tony? I saw Halloween 4 when I was a kid. I had a crush on Danielle Harris ever since. Most people have, me, it's the next few victims coming up, there's my crush. Alright. Victim 27, Nurse Patty from H5. Now it's kinda blurred out because in H5, there's the doctor who wanted to do the tracheotomy on Jamie, and then there's Nurse Patty, the one who gives her the CPR. Also, I think, she is she is part of the massacre. Now, I talked to Don Shanks at one of the Monster Mania conventions. Let's be honest, nobody was in there talking to him, so I said, "Let me chit chat with him a little bit." They did film the massacre scene for the police station, as you know, as you've seen pictures, and they did film the massacre scene at the children's hospital. Nurse Patty, Jamie Lloyd's nurse, is supposed to have died in there. I put her on this because we do see her being wheeled out on the gurney, completely dead, completely blanket over, along with, her doctor. So, yeah. I was just thought, Michael should have just had burn scars on his face when they showed him and Jamie in H5, yeah. Tony, "Dr. Loomis, leave the little girl alone." "You mind your own business! You're next! I'm gonna get a cane after you! Where's the liquor? You were hiding it all along! That's why I'm shaking you! I don't care about Michael. All I care about is my bottle with that gin inside. I'm almost empty, Jamie. I can't take it. I gotta leave this town. But you're not making me leave. Stop this. I can't go anywhere until either you or Michael are dead. I'm retired. Shut up, Nurse Patty. I should have let them slit your throat." All right, moving on. Victim 26, Donna. She was okay. She kinda reminded me of Julianne Moore a little bit. Um, yeah. Yes, Chester, she did get killed off screen. Not really been confirmed, but, the fan audience and the rest of the other people, Don Shanks, who I talked to, said, yeah, she's actually part of the victims. It just didn't get filmed, and her and the doctor are the ones coming down because he was actually supposed to go in there and just start, going after after people. "Kill him, Michael! Kill all the boys and girls! End this! I had enough. I hate them all. They're making fun of me and throwing shit at me, drawing on my car. Some little boy drew a penis on my car." Yep, Donna. Can't say any more about Donna. She's okay. Like I said, I'm gonna say this about a lot of people. She's okay. Alice, the first one from 1981, is barely it's not there, but she's halfway through. "Who is it? Who is it? Alice? Alice, where are you? Drop the phone. Alice, you there? I can hear you breathing. Alice, pick up." You know, the whole stab into the pumpkin sound or the watermelon sound, you know? Love Crazy Loomis. I do too. What about Little Stuttering Billy from My Chunky Jordy? I don't think he's a victim. Is he? No, I don't think he was a victim. Because they're only brought out because they're bringing kids out who are walking. I don't see him in there. I think did Billy go straight to the hospital? Did he go to the children's hospital? That doesn't look like a kind of a children's hospital setup. You think you go to Haddonfield Memorial. Chester, Crazy Loomis, and H5 rules. Yeah. Where was Michael hiding when he killed Alice? When he jumps up? I don't know, Tony. Behind a cushion? Maybe? Or did he just, put himself in a little ball and, like, hold a plant on top of his head? And he was just like, "You can't see me." I think he was in the corner, kneeling down, going like this. And it's like, "You can't see me if I can't see you." That's what I think. Yes. Yeah, just like There's some blood on you, which they show in the TV series if on TV. They don't show this part. They just basically get a real good shot of her nostrils there. Ken says the Halloween Girl episode of Holston with, Danielle Harris was awesome. Adam said he loved her since he saw her in 4. She says, "I was 10 with disgust." He says, "But I was 10. I was also 10, so" I was 10. Take Danielle Harris for what you want. Michael playing peekaboo. Yeah, Billy survives. He's been chased, he was being chased by the car. Yeah, but you remember he goes into the ambulance? So, and then she goes, Billy? Billy? Billy boy?" Alright. 24, Nurse Marion. Man, is she a terrible shot. Very underutilized in kills. I remember she's the one, and the reason why I probably put her, like, in the middle, not because of just her personally, is because she started the whole "evil dies tonight." That's it. Do I have to say any more? That movie got derailed. Although I think Michael is pretty good in kills, I don't think it's a bad movie. I really don't think all of them, any of them, are a bad movie out of the Blumhouse trilogy. There's a few I would watch before others, but Nurse Marion in this is not the Marion that I know and love. She's definitely not the one in the first one. She's in the second one, she's like a soldier practically, and in Resurrection, she has, kind of like street smarts about her. But in this one, you know, uh, so he's probably taken to the hospital. Yeah, I don't know because it's a children's hospital per se, but I don't think they really do as invasive operations there. I don't think they would just if he was there for a quick second or in an emergency room. I don't think Michael would have gone after him per se. I think he would have gone after, a lot of the doctors first because you do see a lot of kids come out and there was a fire started. I think there was smoke, right? Yeah, that's right. This is for Doctor Loomis from Chester and Daz. There's the yeah, oh, Tony, don't you worry. The other one's on here as well. Kill was the best out of the trilogy. You know what, Texas, for a lot of people, it is. A lot of people hold ends in low regards and hold them way at the bottom. I think that they are alright. I don't think Ends is a terrible movie. It should have been in a bridge to if they made Corey into a different or ended him in a different way, you know what I'm talking about? Like, made him another Michael or another boogeyman, it would have been it would have been fine, but, yeah, we've had plenty of these discussions all over the place. You just type in "Halloween Ends" in, YouTube, and you'll get a whole bunch of reviews of, channels that just give their take on it. But, yeah, but some of the Lindsay is the only one for the past victims that I actually like. Tommy is terrible, and so is Marion. I have to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry to Nancy Stevens, but, it's not it's not my nurse. It's not my Nurse Marion. Alright, number 23, Vanessa from Kills. Notice how I put, Marion there. The only reason why I put Vanessa up top is not only is she a badass with a gun, is that she hasn't missed. Let's see. Tony says, "No reason to have Corey if you're going to kill him off." I agree with you. I agree with you, Tony. Hey, Quest, what's going on, buddy? Says Halloween 2018 elevated to the best in the series. A lot of people agree with you. A lot of people. I like how there's a lot of people with different answers. 2018 got pushed up after seeing kills and ends or just seeing ends. But then a lot of people took ends and they said, I kind of like that too. It's kind of different. Michael's not in it a lot, but he's also in it more than he was in Halloween 1 compared to time. And then a lot of people say, I like kills just because there are a lot of kills in it. And just, Evil Dies Tonight takes me out of it. You have everybody has great arguments. Great arguments. And you know what? This is why I like you guys so much because there's that's why Darren and I like you guys so much because a lot of you say, I like ends, I like kills, I like 18, and you all have good points. You all have good points. So that's why you could say, listen, I like the Blumhouse trilogy as a whole. It's better than Resurrection. It's better than some of Rob Zombie stuff. But then you also have those people that like that stuff as well. And I think out of the whole franchises of horror, you take the big 3, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Halloween. Halloween has the most fans that really like the broader span of the franchise. Tony says, "I hate the Vanessa kill. It's too slapstick to shoot yourself like that." It's true. I agree with you. Vanessa is either a horrible shot or a perfect shot. Tony says, "Kills is more fun to watch, but H-18 is a more solid film, Sartain aside." Notice how in every one of those Blumhouse movies, there is one character or one occurrence or one line that will take you out of it for some reason. If you know it's gonna not work, don't do it. If you have to say it enough, say it too much, don't say it at all. If you're gonna have somebody derail the film by doing something really stupid or comedic, don't do it. This is what happens when you have comedians write stories. They put a little slapstick in there, they put a little peanut butter on the penis, and it takes people off. Darren, if you're watching afterwards, here's the best argument I can have for you. The reason why us Americans or us people from North America hate when he says putting peanut butter on the penis, when he says you put peanut butter, I hate him because, there's peanut butter on my penis, because it refers to that his penis must have been out of his pants. So if he would have said, "Oh, I got peanut butter on my crotch," that would have been better because it's a general area. So when he says, "I got peanut butter on my penis," that means it was out, or did it go through his pants? That's the best argument I've had. I thought about this for a long time. Now that I'm thinking of Vanessa being a doctor, it would make more sense for her to go with the hospital instead of joining Tommy's stupid posse. It would make sense. They would have called her in. We don't know if that was her hospital though. That's the thing. I hate Halloween so much. I'd rather watch Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 twice in a row than that one. Really, Ken? Hey, Nick, what's going on? My Chucky Jory says, "I enjoy ends, but I agree it should have been differently slightly, especially in the in eyes in my eyes. The end in my eyes." Yes. Yeah, everybody agrees with you. The end should have been different. Fat Bookie. Oh no, not the penis debate again. I'm done. You guys can refer to Darren if he's not gonna watch this. I made my point. It would have to be out in order for peanut butter to be on there. Take that. Check. Mate. I dotted, T crossed. Moving on to number 22. Vicky, Virginia Gardner, who has come a long way. She's actually starring in a lot of more Hollywood productions. And yeah, she a pretty good babysitter. However, another fornicator, another dry humper. If you're gonna do something, you're gonna babysit. Just go for it. Let Dave go. Go, Dave. Do it, Dave. You know, as she says, "Oh, you're getting so dry hump tonight." And I'm just like, at least she's better than Tina. I put her as a babysitter higher than Tina, but Tina really wasn't a babysitter, but she did kind of sacrifice herself with Julian. Yeah, Pat, you were thinking about peanut butter on penis for a long time. I was, even while we were watching that movie when we saw Toxies. Uh, the end of Ends should have had it at least, should have added to the end of Kills, just 2 films. I agree. Alright, moving on from Vicky. I don't think anyone, cares about her too much. Vicky was gusty, though. Hate her slipping on her socks, though. Oh, what ruined also Tony, was the preview when we saw the preview for H-18. They just gave away one of the biggest jump scares that movie had for Vicky. All right, number 21, Jasleen. Jasleen, Jasleen, Jasleen Aline. I know it's a different song. It's Jolene, by the way. Marisol said Vicky was a good babysitter. She told Julian to run. Yeah. And it's like, run, Julian, run. Not like, run. I can't even do it. It hurts my voice. Who triumphs? What is it, 1987? It was so funny because my wife has told this to me a lot of times. You remember, and Pat will remember this, so was Brad, anyone who's closer to our age, late 30s, early 40s, and beyond. Not saying anything wrong with that. Our health class used to say they used to scare us into not having intercourse in school. Well, of course, not in school, but not having intercourse anytime at our age, because they said dry humping can get you pregnant. That was a teacher. That was a person who was educating a student, the student body. Dry humping will get you pregnant. Ah, Julian says, "Oh shit, ruins the ruins the moment." Okay, Tony says, "Why don't I remember Jasleen?" Okay, ready? Jasleen is from '09. She's the one that goes in the 2 guys in the truck when Michael is walking through the field. Why did I do this? Just walking through the field, and, after he kills them, there was no mask, he puts the mask on, goes after the 2 guys and her, and then proceeds to eat the dog. And that's where you go back and forth between a cutaway of Michael eating the dog and Brackett eating the pizza like a caveman. Yeah, Jazz Lee was trying to stop homeless Michael from getting killed, by her dad in H2, that's right. Yep, and then she was actually the one who, I put her up there because out of everybody in '09, she was actually the kindest. She was like, "I'm so sorry, please forgive my dad," it's just, listen, "What's good for the goose is good for the gander." I Michael doesn't accept, Michael doesn't accept apologies. Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, I got it, Frank. Yep. All right, moving on. Top 20, here we go. Nurse Marion, NH20. There she is, the one with the guts, the one with the gusto, the one that was actually true Nurse Marion, the one that was saying, "Oh, shit. No shit." And the one that was running back and forth, the one that was going, "Over here, damn it." Victim number 20, the top 20 starts with Nurse Marion, NH20. Hey, Vanderhoff, what's going on? We're in pretty good weather today, right? Not too far away. Here we go again. Nurse 19. Victim 19 is Annie from '09. Compared to what Annie was in '07 and compared to her in '09, it was 2 different ends of the spectrum. This is where she really cared about Lori. She cared about, Lori's well-being. She was a victim too, or as she says, you don't see the scars, I got the scars along with you. She was brought down to a peg. So, and her death scene going back and forth is probably one of the best moments of Rob Zombie's H2. So, Lori sees Annie. Annie's all dead, again, she's as disrobed as Danielle Harris can ever get, and, it was, uh it was very sad. It was a very sad moment. That's why I put it as one of my worst deaths because it's very sad because there was the flashback going back and forth of that slow, the slow chase scene. Very great moment, and then, yep, Daz says it right here. Uh, Sorry, Daz. Annie is one of the hardest deaths to watch in the series. That's why she's great. She's not my tops, but she deserves to be in the top 20. She had Tony says she was great in '09. Dramatic death scene, one of the best in the series, in my opinion. I everyone I've talked to about her death has said, "I agree, Frank." You know, Jordan Decker. Hey, Jordan says, Andy getting naked was really the best part of Rob Zombie's Halloween movies. For all of us who were in love with Danielle Harris because were young around her age too, it was. But yeah, but getting back to her, it's her. Like I said, her character being dropped down a peg from what she was to to what she is in '09 was great, and her death was very sad and dramatic. Yeah, and, oh, Brett, you brought up a good point. Love how they used some of her childhood videos in the pictures. Yes, some of her real life, camera, her family photos, family videos. Great. That's what that's if that was that's the best part of H2. That is the best part. Alright, here we go, 18. Nurse Wynn from '07. Any relation to Doctor Wynn? I don't know. I think maybe Nurse Wynn is the reason why I know it's not this movie, but maybe if this was part of the lore, Nurse Wynn in the comic book, Nurse Wynn got, was a love interest of Doctor Loomis. So the comic book came out. Did the comic book come out? Comic books come out before Rob Zombie's, Halloween 7? I mean, Halloween '07? I don't know. When had it coming? Hey, Matthew, what's going on? Chester says, in my opinion, Annie getting killed by Myers in H209 is still kinda sad, but Brack's reaction is emotional. It's the best part. It's the best part of the movie, Chester. It really is. Win had it coming. I don't know about that, Tony. Was she? Because all she said was, "Cute kid." Take it if you're not gonna talk to me, you little shit. Oh, Jordan. More like Nurse Lose. The way young Michael was standing there admiring his work was epic. Yep. Never turn your back on a serial killer with a plastic fork or a bag of chips from Event Horizon. Number 17, Deborah Strode. I like her. Good mom. However, she should have stood up to John. I think she would have left John eventually, but she was just so in love with him or just not and Marisol, if you're still here, would you put up with any of this BS from a guy like John Strode? I don't think you would. I don't think any guy would. I don't think any woman would. I mean, any guy in here would tell you, "If my woman acted to me like John did, I would have left a long time ago." John is one of the most despicable characters of this whole franchise. Maybe give you a little clue where I'm gonna put him. It's very hard to put some of these people in the bottom, and it's because it's a race to the bottom because a lot of them are despicable. But other than that, and, my 17th favorite victim is Deborah Strode. Brett said, though, that the siren in that scene did drove him a little nuts. Yeah, I mean, I get it because it was just "Whoop, whoop, whoop." That's not how it goes. I'm just trying to make it, but yeah, it just kept on going for how long? They coulda just made it silent and just did, like, "Doom, doom," some kinda noise. I'm not gonna do this. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I don't mean to be making sound effects. I'm not Dave. Married to John the Idiot, must have been packing some heat. I love how Michael put Deborah's broken glasses back on her corpse, never noticed that before. She can't run through hanging bed sheets. She should have stayed in the True Grit universe where she belonged. Oh, here we go. It's number 16. There's Alvis. I like her. I like her a lot. I like the character a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been watching The Solar Land long enough, you know that I like strong women. Strong women that can stand up for themselves. That could be she is bossy to the point of excitement for me. Visiting hours are definitely over. You got it. Oh. Maybe it's some kind of psychological thing with me, but yeah, just having, people yell at me, I'm just like, just I don't react to it, the same. It's either I laugh at you or I'm just kind of like, "Oh, okay." My Chucky Jordy says, "I left my ex in 2010 after a year of trying thanks to friends. He wasn't going to, put up with that I wasn't gonna put up with that shit anymore." Good for you. Good for you. Thank you for, letting us know because it's just any guy like that deserves to go out and just be beaten to the end of their to the end of their miserable lives. Anyone that's like John Strode needs to be brought down a peg or a couple. Don't agree with that. Tony says, "Man, can't live with them." All right, number 15. We're getting close to the end, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for staying here. Octavia from '09, Oscar winner Octavia Spencer. What a great scene. What a great scene it was at '02. The hospital scene, which we thought was gonna be the rest of the movie, which we were all excited about. But we all know this is all part of a dream sequence, but you know what? It's she's a victim. A victim. Michael was there. Uh, Vanderhoff says, "Frank, my wife and I are driving to my mother-in-law's. Can you say hello to my wife, Jennifer, and give her a warm welcome?" Jennifer, thank you very much for, joining us here along with Dave, and, I hope you have a safe travel. Enjoy Pennsylvania and come on back. Come back safe. All right? Thank you. Thanks, Jennifer. Nice seeing you. Ma. Yep. Oscar winner. This is a brutal kill, says Tony. This was why I can't hate Rob Zombie's H2. With Michael grunting too. It just keeps on going after her. Tommy G says, "Decent scene for a terrible movie." Back to Up There's House Alvis. Yep. Michael stabbed her from Brett 25 times. I think she was dead after a couple. Yeah. A little overdoing it, Michael, right? Well, you saw how angry he was. 14, Dana, right? Nice girl, nice journalist. "Where's the loo?" "The what?" "The bathroom." "It's over there. Take the key. It's on a cinder block." How does $3,000 sound?" I can't do her voice either. You want me to back it up to Nurse Alvis? Okay. There. I backed it up. Yep, 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 yep. Dana. Alright, number 13, Nurse Janet from '81. "Dr. Mixter? Lori's had a reaction to the medication. Dr. Mixter? Mr. Garrett? I gotta get on the ward." It's okay. Now we're getting to the nurses. Now we're getting to the nurses. Sammy. I don't think anybody hates Sammy. I don't think anyone does. I'm at the end of my big can Arizona. Uh, Data was kinda hot, even though she died taking an on-screen shit. Oh, love Sammy. I think she was really special. I think she was really great. I think she loved Jamie. She was really, willing to put up with, she liked Rachel and was okay with that. Daz, yeah, one of the most memorable costumes ever. Um, good character. I wish she would do some more conventions. She was in Terrifier, if you know, Terrifier, the 2nd one? Yeah, her character was in the 2nd one, I think. Yes. Cynthia Strode, victim number 11. Dee Wallace. Who doesn't like Dee Wallace? Well, Darren and I met her, and, we had our Cujo pictures, taken, and that she was very lovely. As you know, if we were when you guys, go and watch our, H45 live tour. We just walked past Malik and we say, "Hey, Malik," and he was just waving, and Dee Wallace, we were saying, "There's the very beautiful, very lovely Dee Wallace," and she was just looking at the camera, smiled, walked back to her table. What a great mom she is too. Wouldn't give up her daughter. Took in this daughter that they knew was from some kind of, a traumatic, had a traumatic background, traumatic past, and she was, she stood up. Her and John are good parents. Yep. Horror legend, says Tony. Yes, she was, walking into the costume store with a kid. That's right. It's true, Jordan. What did Jordan say? Sammy was dating a dude named Spitz. What the hell? Well, with his name, you know what she's gonna do later. Sorry, sorry, sorry. The the newsreader just turned into a werewolf. Told you to stop telling lies. Or no, that's nice, dear. I met Dee Wallace at Scarefish. She is so sweet. Hey, Jamie, what's going on? Yeah, she is a sweetheart. She's awesome. I'm not going anymore, Tommy. Uh, 44, Nurse Jill. Here we are in the top 10. You ready? Top 10. We're getting to the end of the top 10. There we go. Nurse Jill. Love it. Love Nurse Jill. Very nice. She's probably the one of the most competent nurses there besides Alvis. She probably knows she really doesn't know what, ODing looks like or chemical or, medical reactions, insulin reactions, but she's okay. She's in the top 10. Now we're getting to like the originals and everything. Here we go. Classic kill, as Dad says. Classic kill. Remade in H2O, right? There we go. Annie, the original Annie in top 9. The best Annie we're ever gonna get. Memorable, who I think Michael really went after. Everyone said I think Jamie was just a bystander. I don't think Michael was trying to get her to come over. I think, either though he was infatuated, I don't know. Maybe Michael was trying to get Jamie to come over, and he used Annie. Maybe that's it. But Annie is, I think Annie was the one that pissed him off the most. "Hey, jerk, speed kills." I think Annie was more the intentional victim than Lori was. The blinking Annie, yeah, it's the blinking Annie. Ah, victim A is Jamie from H6. Very protective of, her baby. What was the baby's name? Steven. Very protective of Steven. Hid him back at the bus station. Can't have the baby, Michael, even though it's yours. Ugh. Uh, it was very sad when she passed away, even though they probably coulda got Daniel Harris to come back, but I don't think she wanted to, and then, she changed her mind back and forth. Uh, yeah, Annie stood up to Michael. Matthew says, "The more and more I watch Halloween '78, the more I think Annie is a horrible friend." Vanderhoff says, "My wife said, 'Thanks, Frank, but we're actually heading to Wayne.'" Oh, okay. Alright. Well, welcome back. Well, good luck on your travels. Be safe, please. Uh, much better than the producer's cut. Good one, Frank. Yeah, this one is a lot better than getting shot in the head at, the hospital. And, Jamie's kill was vicious, not the first time she got poked by come on, Jordan. No keys, but please, oh, Paul. Uh, someone needs to do a deepfake of Daniel Harris's face over, this Jamie. Leave it, right? Don't mess with it. Start with the mask first. And then we have the original Linda as victim number 7. My 7th favorite victim. Female victim is Linda for the original '78. PJ Souls, who I've seen so many times at conventions, but have failed to get her autograph. So, next time H50 comes around, I think, I'm gonna try to get it this time. Number 6, let's go. Number 6 is Karen Stroh from H18, or in this one, it's right from Kills. I put H18 because this is the first time we ever saw her. Uh, totally. uh, Karen is actually, if you do watch our best and worst of Halloween Kills, she is my favorite person. I think, good thing, Jordan. I kinda try to cover him up. But she actually was a great mom, a great daughter in this one, trying to keep her mom sane, but trying to protect her daughter. She did protect her daughter, and the way she went out was kind of okay. She was, but better she was better in Halloween Kills than she was in H18. Karen ruled in this one, had a complete 180 of a turnaround. I would have loved it if Lori died in Kills and she took over, because then it just made no sense, because in Halloween Ends, there's nothing wrong with Lori. Your daughter died, and you're just like, "Oh, whatever." She's too Lori was more focused on Michael, and then she put up that excuse, "I was trying to protect you to make sure this night, when this night happened, you'd be, better off, you'd be able to protect yourself." No. Uh, I didn't expect Karen to die. Half expected Michael to say "got you" when he killed Karen. We don't need Michael saying anything, right, Daz? All right, here we go. Top 5. Nurse May from H6. She got Jamie out of there. Without Nurse May's help, we wouldn't have had a Halloween movie. Nurse May, for as long as, she's been on screen, a very memorable death in the beginning. Yeah, good nurse. Didn't believe in the whole cult thing. Didn't wanna start with it to begin with, but nevertheless, she's in my top 5. Alright, here we go. Number 4. Come on. There she is. Kathleen Kinmont, my sweet Kelly. She's not number 1. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I have to be honest. She's my favorite victim, in Halloween 4, but series as a whole, it's she's my favorite H4 character. Love Kathleen Kinmont, love Kelly Meeker. It's just I was just being honest with myself. Uh, the Jordan says the head to the spike is in the top 5 kills of the franchise. Why is the spike, just sticking out of the wall? Very convenient. Frank just got sad. Tony goes, "Only number 4, I'm so shocked. Cops do it by the book. Brady did nothing wrong." And again, cops do it by the book. It's so I had to be honest, love you, really do. We all know, what your number 1 is, Frank. If you think you know what my number 1 is, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat, because we got 3 we're 3 away, from, number 1. So, okay, there, my 3rd victim is Nurse Karen. Anyone who's like, "It's my top sta" why did I put Nurse Karen over Kelly Meeker? 1, she's a nurse. She just wanted to have fun. She put up with Bud. One of the most amazing scenes in the Halloween franchise. And actually, I had to put loyalty as a person versus and also death-wise. I think Nurse Karen had a more traumatic death than Kelly Meeker. So, look at Fat Bookie. I know it. Everyone's like, "Damn it, I had money on her being your number 1." I tricked you bastards. I tricked you guys. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna have to tell Kathleen about this. Number 4 from Frank, blasphemy. Don't say anything to her, please. I'm gonna embarrass. I'm blushing right now. Couldn't have showed her boobies too, Frank, damn it. No, I couldn't. The one though about PJ Souls is that you could blur that out a little bit. It's really not, great for it's not yeah, the YouTube would not pick it the YouTube won't pick it up as clear. Uh Nurse, Karen doesn't care if your digits are dirty. That's hardcore, says Jamie. Nurse Karen could have never, drowned or too much buoyancy up top. Okay, quick. Who else does topless? Who else dies topless? We'll see. What's number 2? Ready? Here we go. She died from the heat, I thought. She did. It's from the scarring. Okay. She got cooked. Number 2. Judith Myers, the original Judith Myers. She is my number 2. She is the first victim that started the whole franchise. So, yes. Ken says, if Kelly was topless, would you have changed the rank, Frank? No. Technically, she was topless, but I cut out all the movies in the Halloween 4. It's disgusting. You know what they call it? It's not the movie man. It's the Mookie man. I got, I don't know. Kathleen Kinmont told me it's okay. She had other movies with this. So she's proud of her body, but I'm not. I'm not proud of her body at all. It's just I can have it. It's a Halloween movie. The only thing you need to see naked are peeps, and that's it coming out on Easter. The candy corn. I only just want to see milk duds, not milk juds, and then the kids who trick or treat the bag. I suppose we could leave the door open. Yeah. I never been so mad to see Darren. Look, he's done it to me. He's put my faces on man ass, and other things. Oh, yeah, poor girl. Her last time was 2 seconds. Ah, Darren's face over the boobs. Well, about time I got him back, and there he is. Oh, yeah, Matt Bookie. Awesome impression, Frank. I appreciate that. What a great set of Darren's. Tell Darren he has a great set. All right, my number 1, ladies and gentlemen. I'll give you, while I leave this up here and just for you to imagine what, my only number 1 victim of the Halloween franchise is. Please put it there while you're admiring, Darren's head, and where it's been placed for a little bit. I want you guys to see if you could think of a victim that is number 1. And while you're thinking really quick, let me show you, what I've gotten recently. So just hold on a minute. What I picked up recently. I told Pat about this. Uh, yeah, be right back. Hold on. Stay there. Don't move. Saw that, Jamie. Tony, my man. Number 1 is Rachel Carruthers. Start out in Halloween 4, but she dies in Halloween 5. Gotta be number 1. The only victim I think that a lot of us are mad about. So, yeah, Rachel is my favorite victim of the entire series. I gotta be honest. I gotta let everybody know that when Rachel died, I was so disappointed. She could have carried this whole franchise, and if she ever shows up to age 50, it's, her line's gonna be big. It was just she after Loomis, she could have went on. She could have been another protagonist throughout the whole series. Everyone's right. It's Rachel, gotta be. I also think it's Rachel. We need more, on hold music while Frank is getting ready. Rachel is the only one left, right? Marisol, you're absolutely correct. They did Rachel dirty, far far too good in H4 to go out like that in H5. Yep, Jamie agrees. Did her dirty. Rachel is one heck of an O face right there. God, uh, you did trick me, Frank. I thought I was going to be Nurse Karen in the hot tub. I know. Well, I'm being completely honest with everybody. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There was my top female victims from worst to best. Now, before we go, because it's going to go on 2 hours, we've been there. I promised Pat I would show this. Another Halloween merch came in, and it is a San Diego Comic Con, very rare. I got number one ultra foil exclusive variant. The history of slashers. It's actually from not from San Diego Comic Con. It's from Heroes Con, from Orbit, the birth of a slasher. Because if you remember, I got the orange one. This is number 144 out of 250. As Ken says, to the 50. So there it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. 2 hours have flew right by. I appreciate everybody staying here. You don't have to you don't have to sub. Just if you enjoy my content, that's all that matters to me. That's all that matters. I'll never tell you to like or subscribe because it's forcing people to do so. A lot of people say, "So it helps the channel out and everything like that." But if they're gonna find you, they're gonna find you. I'm not into, glorifying or putting myself out there for likes and subs, but I appreciate that you guys are here and watching. That's all that matters that we get to talk about this. Thanks, Tony, very much. Thanks, Daz. Thanks, Marisol. Thanks, Jordan. Thanks, Brett. Thanks, Pat. Thanks, Jamie. Thanks, Evander Hoff. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, Texas. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, everybody who showed up. Thank you, my Chucky Jordy. I appreciate everybody. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And for those who are going back to school, enjoy going back to school. I hope the kids are having fun. Yeah, you want to see it one more time, Pat? There, this little foil variant. It shines. Uh, pretty cool. I can't. The camera won't pick up but it does. Like the red here is foil color, and a little bit right there. You see how it just highlights a little bit? But yeah, thanks, Tommy, very much, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you. You know what? Maybe a little music while I end the show. All right. Take care, everybody.